Hello, Governor Walz. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Oh, yes. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me today. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Go right ahead.
Thank you very much. So, in preparation for this interview this morning, I put a call out on social media asking Michigan voters what they would like to hear from you today. One voter asked, "What specific opportunities do you see for the federal government to help with Detroit's continued recovery and growth?"
Yeah, well, first of all, we're excited about it. I said, as a fellow Midwesterner, to watch the Renaissance in Detroit, and it comes in contrast to Donald Trump putting it down. I think the investments in the Infrastructure Act the infrastructure law was a huge piece of this. I think the CHIPS Act, making sure we're seeing the resurgence of the auto industry and high tech industry that's coming to Michigan. I'm really concerned, and because Donald Trump has made it clear, and Senator Vance has made it clear that they would pull back those opportunities. Senator Vance called the investment that we made in Lansing in the new plant there, those 650 jobs, table scraps. Those are out of these programs that are in place. There is so much more in those three acts that we put forward that can continue to invest. And look, Detroit, as I've said this, Michigan's not a state that fears the future. You've invented the future. And I think once again, what we're seeing is now is not the time to pull back on these major investments. And then I think coupled with ways to make life more affordable for folks, whether it's housing down payment assistance, whether it's some of the price gouging around, whether it's groceries or pharmaceuticals, and then tax credits that are aimed right at the middle class. The last thing we need to do is add tariffs that Donald Trump is proposing that would add about 20% to everything you buy. Those slow down the growth because look, Detroit's attracting people there, housing more affordable. All of those things will make for these new industries to take off. And I, for one, look for the next century of Detroit's leadership. It's exciting.
Thank you. Here in Michigan, many of our community members have family and loved ones in the Middle East. What would you do differently than the current Biden administration to put an end to the violence that we're seeing in the Middle East?
Yeah, it's unacceptable as we pass the 1 year anniversary of the Hamas terrorist attack, and the hostages that need to be returned, and the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, as we've seen this. I think it comes to the leadership that Kamala Harris has shown that she can bring forward. I think it's been very clear, especially over the weekend, with former Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, saying Donald Trump is the most dangerous person to our country and global stability. I think what we do is we make sure we lead with our values. We do not abandon our allies, and we do not coddle dictators as Donald Trump has done. I think that's the first thing that sends a strong message that our allies unify together and we bring stability to the region. And I think Kamala Harris is the person who can do that.
Is there any action that the two of you would take together that would be different than what we're seeing right now?
Well, I think the leadership style that she will bring to this is one that gives us that opportunity. I think you see our allies are nervous at this point of Donald Trump. They know that he can't be trusted. And that's whether it's in the Middle East or whether it's in Ukraine or, quite honestly, whether it's in the Pacific, where Donald Trump tends to cater towards folks who are not with us. And I think that type of relationship building starts to strengthen our allies, because this is going to take a broader effort. And Kamala Harris has proven she's met with over 150 world leaders. When she's in the situation room, the experts know that she's the right person to be there. When Donald Trump's in the situation room, secretaries of defense, his own national security advisors, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff say he can't be trusted. And that's a big difference.
Thank you. Just recently, I interviewed Senator J.D. Vance, and I asked him about some of the Democratic campaign ads that we're seeing here in Michigan. And if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you about some of the Republican ads that we're seeing here.
Sure.
So in Michigan, there are local Republican campaign ads essentially saying that a vote for the Democratic ticket is a vote against local law enforcement. You yourself have faced some criticism in the past for what some have called your lack of support for law enforcement. What do you say to people who believe that if you and Vice President Kamala Harris take office, local law enforcement will lose funding and their ability to protect communities?
Well, that's false. Vice President Harris funded more than President Trump's proposals did during his budgets. In Minnesota, I had made the largest investment in state history into law enforcement and community safety. I have been there with them every step of the way. We also know that crime is at a 50-year low now, while murder rates were the highest and had shot up the highest under Donald Trump. Look, Donald Trump talks a tough game, and Donald Trump tries to divide us. The fact of the matter is that we've invested, and communities want to have a say in what community safety looks like. And so that's simply what they do. They go on fear. They don't look at the facts. Again, if you fact check many of these things, they simply don't put put their money where their mouth is, whether it's law enforcement or simple things like cutting Social Security. Donald Trump will continue to say he stands there, but he doesn't. So I think folks recognize community safety is a top priority, but I will tell you this. The Republicans, led by Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, inability to deal with gun violence, the ability to write them off as simply we should get over it or it's a fact of life is absolutely abhorrent. As a father, as a former teacher, as a governor, we will tackle gun violence. And those are things that this isn't about the Second Amendment. I was out hunting this weekend about protecting our children, and they're not going to do anything about that. So I think your listeners, whether it be in rural, rural across the state in Michigan or in the urban areas, we can do something about gun violence. And that is the biggest thing on people's minds when it comes to crime. Law enforcement in Minnesota were the ones who supported the measures I took on background checks and extreme risk protection orders. Those are things that Kamala Harris wants for the rest of the country. Doesn't infringe on your right to gun ownership, but protects our children.
The economy continues to be a top issue for so many voters. When I go out in the field, everyone tells me that is what they are worried about this election cycle. If you are to be elected, what is one tangible act that you would take to turn the economy around?
Yeah, I think making sure that Donald Trump is not elected to put the tax cuts in for billionaires and to add his tariffs to us. I think the first thing we'll do is make sure the middle class receives those tax cuts. 100 million Americans will see tax cuts. If you make $400,000 or less, you'll see no increase, but those investments will go right to families like child tax credits. I think that coupled with down payment assistance on home ownership, thinking about a place like Detroit where you can get into homes, that sets a whole new tone for people. And we're seeing where inflation is cooling, prices are starting to come down. We still need to tackle price gouging. 37 states have this in place. Republicans have it too. We saw an example of this when people were trying to fly out of Florida and airlines tried to raise the prices on flights. That's not how the economy is supposed to work. So I think the biggest thing is make sure this economy works for everyone, not just the wealthy.
Thank you very much. I'm seeing that that is our last question. Am I correct?
Correct.
Yes. Governor Walz, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to Michigan and Detroit voters.
Yeah, hope we get to be back with you again. Thank you.
Thank you.